Welcome back to The Wandering Naturalist. My name is Brandon, he, him. Angela sadly is not here. She's not feeling very well, but I have been told she is enjoying her time under a tree, trying to feel better. Last time we talked to Analyah Schlaeger dos Santos about the work she is doing to bring trees to tree deserts in Minneapolis and surrounding suburbs. Today we are joined by two people who have done this work, Makayla Freeman and Laila Bacon. So welcome, Makayla. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Makayla. I use she, her pronouns. I'm 21. I grew up in North Minneapolis, and I guess I've been doing environmental justice work since I was 14, so it's definitely been a really long ride. I spend my time working at two nonprofits doing environmental work, one called MNIPL, which I work at with Analyah, and I'm like our youth program and outreach coordinator. I help her run our youth network, and we do a lot of policy work at the Capitol. And at Metro Blooms, I get to work with Laila and a few of our other fellow Youth Empower members, where we plant gardens and trees all over the city and the surrounding suburbs. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
That's awesome. 7 years already. That is amazing. Laila, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, hi, I'm Laila Bacon, pronouns she, her. I've also been doing this work since I was 14. I work at a nonprofit called Metro Blooms with Makayla as an environmental justice and social justice manager, where we all plant rain gardens and trees.
You both started at 14. What inspired you to start doing this sort of work?
I can start first. I definitely wasn't planning on it. It kind of just fell into, I'd say our laps. I did a summer job at a church in North Minneapolis as a summer camp counselor, and I really enjoyed it, so I went back for another year. But we got to be with kids in nature, which is something I've never really done also as a young person. And we went to Theodore Wirth, which is somewhere I had never been before, even though I lived over north. And so the following year, Analyah hosted a 3-week environmental justice camp for kids, and I got to be a counselor for that. And the stuff we learned was really eye-opening, really understanding why our community was the way it was, why we didn't have, grocery stores as much as surrounding communities, why we had a lack of trees, why it was so hot, just things I really never took into account being so young. And Analyah asked me if I would like to work with her year round, and then it was kind of just, it's been like that ever since, really. And I asked Laila too, but I'll let Laila explain how she got into this.
I joined simply because I was Makayla's friend. We've been friends for so long, and Makayla was like, well, my job is hiring if you just want to come and work with us. So I just came one day, and I stayed ever since. So yeah, basically purely because of friendship, I started this work, and I've loved it ever since.
I think that really ties into what Analyah was saying in the beginning about it being community work and community coming together and doing that. I am wondering, can you both share what is some of the work you've done in the past 7 years that has really been meaningful to you?
Right now, I currently have a project at Metro Blooms about emerald ash borer. That's been a very big problem in North Minneapolis, where people can't afford to have the trees taken down that have been affected by emerald ash borer. And for the people who don't know what that is, it's basically a tiny green bug that travels to different ash trees, surrounding ash trees, and basically slowly kills them, where they become very dangerous to people's houses, people in general, cars, by them just being brittle and just falling over. So with this project, we've been able to help at least 20 people currently take down their trees for free, and then offer them free replacement trees that we're going to plant this summer. But just seeing how we are able to help these people with this financial burden, because sometimes this can take people into financial ruin, where they can't afford their house anymore because they had to get this one tree taken down that cost them $1,500 or even more.
Absolutely. I have to get ash trees taken down around my house, and it was thousands of dollars a tree. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's so crazy. But being able to see those people happy and able to take down their tree for free, or have them find assistance through the city to have it taken down for free, has been great.
What kind of trees are you replacing them with?
We're replacing them with Minnesota native trees. So we have like burr. What else? God, there's just so many.
Oaks are awesome.
Yeah.
I know, like, they are the number one tree for wildlife you can plant.
Yeah.
And they do pretty well in an urban environment because they're that oak savanna type habitat. So they're really used to the dry and the drought and the salt. So that's awesome. Makayla, what about for you? What's something in the past 7 years that has really stood out to you as being meaningful?
Like Laila said, our ash tree project has been really impactful, being able to because a lot of the people we help sometimes are elders, so really being able to help them when they don't know how to navigate this type of situation. But I think we started planting trees when we were 15. As Analyah was saying, her mom and her and others had started this initiative to plant trees, and we took care of trees in a gravel bed for a summer. We watered them. And I feel like that's what really sparked my interest in kind of understanding how trees grow and why they're important. We're 15 at 7 a.m. watering this pile of gravel with little twigs sticking out of it. But I feel like it made such an impact, and the community was like, what are y'all doing? Why are you here? So it really sparked a lot of interest, but people were like, oh, I'm really down. I really like this idea. When these trees are ready, can I get one? If you can't water tomorrow, I can water for you. So I feel like it really let me understand the community cares, and they really want to see things like this, and they really enjoy when young people are doing things like this. So I feel like that really kind of sparked it all. And to see us years later prioritizing planting trees in the community with the community has really been a full circle moment.
Do you ever go back and look at some of those first trees you were taking care of and see how they're doing today?
Yeah, 100%. It's really funny because we planted trees kind of all over the city. So I'm if we're driving down Penn, we'll be like, oh, I planted that. Or awesome. Someone will call us and be like, my tree's still doing good. So it's really great to see them. And the gravel's still there. The trees aren't, but still even seeing the gravel is heartfelt.
That's amazing. Why is it so important to both of you to bring back and improve these green spaces to your community? And how is planting these trees helping you support those goals?
Bringing back the green spaces, or just the trees in general, it has a way of bringing community together. We have the Children's Forest in North Commons Park that we planted together. Earth Day 2022. We planted that, and the city ended up mowing that down. And we had to come back and plant it Earth Day 2023, which brought out so many community members. The Star Tribune was there. So many young people were there to help us plant these trees. I just think it brings such a sense of community and brings people together that really we need, especially in North Minneapolis. And it just makes people happy.
Yeah, planting that was really fun. It sucked that it got mowed down, but being able to redo it and have even more people, and it's still standing to this day, thankfully. But it's in the middle of the park, and there's no access for us to water it. So a neighbor literally lets us connect 5 hoses to water all these trees. And I know his bill is so high, but he's like, it's fine. We just care about you guys and the trees. But I think since in North Minneapolis, we do a lot of education at our work. So we teach people conversations about environmental justice to kind of understand, why there's a lack of trees. I feel since I believe the tornado in 2011, we only have 30% of our tree canopy, and a lot of it has not been replaced. So I feel that's why we feel so near and dear when it comes to replanting those trees. I had 3 massive trees at my place when I was a kid, and none of them are there anymore from tornadoes. So just being able to be a person to try to bring some of that back, because sometimes it's not the city's priority or the county, and to be just young people trying to bring those back, I think is really important.
Absolutely. What do you hope your work will lead to for your communities in the future?
We also train people how to plant rain gardens and pollinator plantings. So I feel a goal for me, or a dream, would be people knowing what rain gardens are, knowing the benefits of trees and how to plant them, and also wanting to plant them or start their own initiatives in their community. I think it'd be really cool to see a bunch of young planters in the community just doing that together.
Yeah, I agree with you with the young planters part. I feel having more young people out there planting and bringing each other together would be great for the community.
I'm curious on a more personal level. Is there a species of tree that you particularly like, or is there a specific tree that, like, when you were really young, you've just something about it made it feel special to you, or you have fond remembrances of?
Personally, I really love a ginkgo tree, especially when they turn yellow. The first tree we've ever planted was a red oak tree, so that will always have a special place in my heart.
I like it. What about ginkgo trees do you really like?
I love the shape of the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something I really love about, like, the fan shape.
A favorite tree I'd probably say is a honey locust tree. When we were like taking care of some trees in North Minneapolis, we had like a mulch beds with a bunch of baby trees. There was a bunch of honey locust trees, but then also black locust trees that were like springing up. So the black ones were dangerous because they were so thorny, but I feel like the one tree that I know how to identify out of all trees is a honey locust tree, and I love the way that they turn like in the fall when they're all like yellow and they're huge and just hanging over.
Yeah, they're beautiful trees. I like them too. Are you mostly working with the ones that don't have thorns?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those people don't want the thorns because they hurt. They hurt.
Have
you ever seen a honey locust with its natural thorns that weren't bred out of it?
I don't think so.
They're a very special thorn where the thorn grows and then a thorn grows out of that thorn. They're doubly thorned. And the reason why is so that mastodons wouldn't knock it down. So it's actually this evolutionary trait that's left over from the last ice age when we still had massive elephants roaming around. So I just think they're really cool because the tree, one of the mastodons eat their fruit. That's why their pods are so big. And they have like this sweet thing, but they didn't want to be pushed down because elephants like to knock trees down to get to the seeds easily. And so that's why they have those massive thorns in their natural version. So yeah, they're a cool tree. I love them. Work like you're doing is really important, but it can also be really emotionally exhausting, especially as the effects of climate change become more apparent. How do you stay hopeful while you're doing this work?
Over the past years, like we've gotten really close to a lot of like community members and like the people that we work with. So I feel like thankfully we have a really good, strong base of people and relationships. So I feel like having those good people around you has made this a lot easier. But I think being okay with having, climate fear, not knowing what's going to happen, but still knowing the things you're doing matter, even if they're like planting one little tree or planting a sunflower or something, or just even talking about it. I think knowing those small steps can make a really big difference to a lot of people. So I think having, those good people around you makes this a lot easier.
I also agree with the community aspect of it, but also knowing how to take breaks without feeling bad. I feel like when I first started, taking breaks wasn't something that I did often, and I would find myself on the verge of quitting. Like, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm not seeing any results in it. But being able to have community around you telling you, no, it's a process that you have to work towards, and it's all learning and continuing. Yeah, just having that community telling you that you're doing the work and you're doing well, and then eventually seeing that your hard work is paying off is very...
Yeah, you're doing work that really the benefits are so long-term, which can make it really hard on the day-to-day basis. Wake up and go, yeah, I did something. You have.
Yeah.
But it can be hard sometimes to see that. It sounds like you're saying, you had to learn how to be okay with sometimes feeling overwhelmed and realizing that was your time to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So that you could continue that work in the future.
Yes.
Taking care of yourself whenever you do work like this is incredibly important and incredibly difficult, because I think that you're doing work that is about giving. And when you're in a giving mindset, sometimes it feels selfish to take care of yourself. Do you have any advice for anybody who wants to pursue a similar passion?
I think it's really important, if you have the ability, really take your time getting into this, because I feel like there's so many different routes. There's so many different career paths or people to connect with. So I feel like taking small steps, like maybe just going to a community event and just feeling things out can be good. Because it took us a long time to get to where we are. It took us years to find a good place to be, make these really deep connections. And I feel like that's okay if you have that ability. Really trying to nourish yourself while you're trying to tackle such a big topic and challenge in this world is okay to give yourself grace.
Never let yourself feel like you're not doing enough. I feel like even if you're just doing local work, you're still doing enough. Don't think that you should be doing big international stuff, and that's where like the real hard work is, because the local work is just as important as the international work, maybe even more.
I like that. I like that a lot because whenever you read, kids' National Geographic or you watch a nature show or anything like that, or you talk about, save the rainforest, it's always, these exotic in quotes, African animals or the pink dolphins of the Amazon River. But we have so many amazing resources and nature and cool things here where we are that need to be cared for as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And if any of our listeners like, you know what, I really want to help bring trees to tree deserts in our suburbs, in their Minneapolis area, do you have anything they can look for to help do that?
I wouldn't say just like reach out to us, but like there are a lot of like organizations doing work like this, or like you can get trees either for free or cheap through like the city, through like Tree Trust. So I feel like there's a lot of different places where they can connect with.
Yeah. Find somebody that they can connect with and support.
Mm-hmm.
Probably is going to be a little better than just randomly going out and planting trees randomly. It sounds like something you all have learned is that if you don't communicate where you're planting trees, they might not survive.
Oh yeah, we've definitely like we had this like goal to like plant this like X throughout the city of just a bunch of trees where like a tornado had hit, and we'd planted a bunch, and then we came back like a couple days where we're like, where'd all the trees go? So you really have to communicate where you're putting the trees. Yeah.
Yeah. Communication is definitely key, because if people don't know why it's there, they might not know what it even is. Really small trees don't look like much, especially the barrelwood. They literally do look like just sticks sticking out of the ground until they wake up. Well, thank you for trusting us today and for all of the hard work you are doing to connect people to nature by bringing nature to them. I really think it's amazing the work you're doing, and I appreciate the fact that you would come and share your story with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next time, we are joined by Dr. Adam Berlin to discuss why urban trees are important for human health and his research on how to choose urban tree species that will be resilient in the face of unique challenges associated with an urban habitat and invasive species.